Hello, happy Wednesday to you. Welcome, Simon's Training Channel. Thank you for joining me for another one of my videos. Okay, I'm just going to dive straight on in with the price action analysis. Now, as you can see, I'm on a 4-hour time frame, which is showing something significant, which I'll share with you straight away. And then because it's Wednesday, I want to check on the higher time frames, i.e. the weekly, for CME's midweek price action. But I'll come on to that as I move up through from the lower time frames to the higher. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you've had a cracking day. Let's get on with it. So you can see yesterday's range that I put on, which basically between 90 and 85. Nice to talk about such numbers as a range. Was broken in the last 4-hour candle. So it closed above, but it's showing a little bit of weakness here. Now that could just be a retest of basically 90k, but of significance, depending on closures and not yet. If you look at this as a high, with the high on the RSI here, if this move here becomes a high, and the only way it can become a high is by turning back down. And remember, you need closures for that. And I would suggest you need a closure for that basically back below the middle of this range, so somewhere back down below about 88. That would then, if that happened, create a high and a higher high on price, a high and lower high on the RSI, which is regular bearish divergence, and likely would then lead to at least more sideways consolidation, but maybe a pullback. And then a pullback on this move, I'll sort of look at in the daily time frame. So interesting. As you can see, daily momentum has, or the MACD, does look like it's about to cool off a bit. Continue green. Did I say the daily? 4-hour MACD momentum. If the price starts to close below 90.5, which is fairly close to the moment. So closures basically on a 4-hour time frame below 90.5. This turns red, which is more cooling off of momentum on the 4-hour time frame. So we'll see. If that happened, it's likely that the price would pull back a bit more, make this a lower high and bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. So we'll see what happens. Switching over to the daily. Excuse me, had a bit of a cough for ages, very annoying. So yeah, still 4 hours to go on this daily closure. Looking a bit indecisive as a candle. There won't be any bearish divergence on the daily available. So it's likely if that pullback does occur, it'll be on the lower time frames at this point in time. And therefore, if I was to look at, let's just say that Bitcoin has hit its top for now, and then you take this impulsive move as the Fibonacci retracement, you can see pullbacks down to, I've done the wrong way around, never mind, pullbacks down to about 60, anywhere between 67 would be fair game. With the nature of this uptrend, though, on the daily time frame since the beginning of September, I would expect momentum to indeed provide a shallower pullback. So maybe somewhere in the realms of kind of 82, 83,000, which is a fair way from my price action is at the moment. There's a $7,000 move from my prices at the moment. It's not guaranteed and doesn't even mean it's going to happen, but you can see, again, if I refresh your memory from the point of view of the 4-hour time frame, if this does start to become a high with the way the RSI is set up, then you have bearish divergence. Also, the MACD momentum will then flip red, more likely for some downside on the 4-hour, which could easily then bleed into the daily, because you only need 6 4-hour candle closures for a 1 daily closure. That's right, isn't it? No, 5. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. No, yeah, I was right, 6. Sorry, my mental arithmetic let me down a bit there. Shameful, Simon. Now, weekly time frame over on CME. And here we are. There is this massive gap, which is kind of crying out to be filled. That's down towards 80. In fact, it's somewhere between 78 and 80. You know, it's not impossible. I'm still on the 4 hour here. But if Bitcoin was to then start to play out the 4 hour bearish divergence on CME, where does that work out? Well, yeah, it works out pretty well in the sort of golden pocket for a pullback. So I wouldn't be surprised if, yeah, somewhere in the high 70s, low 80s is seen to fill that gap. But at the end of the day, that's just another opportunity, right? If you're not already in a long position, or I would certainly look at it as another opportunity to then get into this beautiful uptrend. What you do is entirely up to you, because what I'm saying is not financial advice. Anyway, CME, here we go. This is the weekly. I just want to check in on it. So it's still a very bullish weekly candle, even if, price does pull back a bit more. The got to wait for the closure to see where the RSI ends up, and indeed where the MACD ends up. But the MACD will continue with upsided green momentum as long as Bitcoin closes this week on CME, which is in just over 2 days, basically above 70,000. Seems fairly likely to me, and therefore this potential weekly uptrend should remain intact. You can see nicely on the Bollinger Band that volatility expansion is occurring and will probably continue to occur based on this weekly closure, although there's still 2 days to go. So yeah, very much looks like more upside. I will just jump back down to the daily. Sorry to be annoying. No, the 4 hour, but this time on Bybit, just to see where the midpoint on the Bollinger Band is, where that 20 SMA is. And yeah, it is coming in at basically 85. So within the bottom part, the support area of that range that I put on a moment ago, I think that's fair game for a pullback. I really do. If it occurs, I'll leave the line on. All right, so there you go. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, please like and subscribe. Join me tomorrow. Take it easy, enjoy your evening, and see you tomorrow.